Get ready, because you're now listening to Water Cooler Talk. Covering everything sports and sports news. From the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, the pros, the collegiate level, and everything in between. If it's about sports, then we're about it. So keep it locked to the absolute coolest podcast. Now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Welcome to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Nick Frazier, and the other voice you hear or see is
Marcus Fitzpatrick. Let's go,
ladies
baby.
and gentlemen, we are back around the water cooler. Ladies and gentlemen, when you hear our voice, you know what that means. That means it's Wednesday. And we back around the water cooler, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time for us to talk sports. And it's time for us to talk about what's going on in the landscape of sports. And boy, did a lot happen this past week. Marcus, how you doing today, boss?
Good, boss. How you?
Man, I'm happy. Can't complain. Today is a great day. I'm excited. But we back around the water cooler, man. So, man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I can't wait for this day because you know why? We get to sit down and we get to give our perspective on sports. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, like the video, share it. We appreciate y'all so much, man. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast player, like, rate, and review the podcast. It helps us out, man. Today we have a great show for y'all, man. We're going to dip around the NFL a little bit. You know, we're going to talk about a lot of these coaches that's in college football, man. We got a lot of stuff going on with some coaches in college football, man. And we going to talk about some of the hottest teams in college football too, man. If we were head coaches, who we not want to play? So we'll talk about that too, man. Marcus, man, are you ready to go, man?
Let's get it, man. Let's
man,
get it.
I know you are a little under the weather. So we're going to try to get this thing. We're going to try to get you in and out. But we got to give the people what they want. They want the water cooler talk. And we want to give it to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, you already know it's time. When you hear the stadium noise, you know they ready. The crowd is ready. Everybody's ready, man. Let's go, man. Y'all know what it is. You know what comes first. Let's go ahead. We are heading to the first quarter.
It's now time for the first quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, your favorite podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear, man. Marcus, man, let's go ahead and get this thing popped off in the first quarter, man. So, this past weekend, man, of course, football happened. NFL, man, you know we got to talk about it. It's so much stuff going on in the NFL. First off, what's going on with your Buffalo? With Buffalo, bro? What is
time
going
to hit
on?
the panic button, man. Time to hit the panic button.
He's ready to hit the panic button, ladies and gentlemen. He's
man.
ready to hit the panic button. What is going on, Marcus? Give us your synopsis of your team. What is going on with your team, man?
A lot of injuries on defense, man, and we just fired our offensive coordinator. So we gonna see what that brings. But as you can see, man, Josh Allen is not. Well, Josh Allen is being himself. You can't band-aid the turnovers no more. We have a lot of success on the ground. We should stick to running the football a lot more. Hopefully, whoever Brady. I think his name is John Brady. Not Tom Brady, but John Brady or something.
Okay.
He's taking over offensive coordinator. Dude, he used to be y'all offensive coordinator, I think, in the past.
Oh, you talking about dude that was at LSU at one point in time. I know you talking about Brady. He was in Carolina.
Yeah.
He was in Carolina.
Yeah.
I know you talking about. Yeah. What's his name? It'll come to me in a minute.
I would say, hopefully he realizes that we should run the ball a lot more. Let that take care of what it take care of. Hold on.
Nah, I agree with you, man. I hear what you're saying. Things happen with the Buffaloes, man. The Buffaloes are looking. Why do I keep saying the Buffaloes, man? The Bills need something. I don't know what it is, bro. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't know exactly what it is y'all need. I don't know. What is it y'all need? I mean, I watched the game last night. Now I'm looking at the stats here. Josh Allen, he went 15 to 26 for 177 yards, 1 TD and 2 interceptions. Now, one of those interceptions did go off of his receiver's hands.
Yeah, Gabe Davis.
Yeah, went off his hands. Now the other one, I think the cornerback just went and got that one. He just went and got
Yeah.
that one. He went and got that
Well,
one.
the thing about it is, man, and I was talking to another one of my friends about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Josh Allen is he's good, but he's good to a certain extent. If he can't play the way he's accustomed to playing, that's the only way he's good. You
Gotcha.
can't make Josh Allen be a pocket quarterback.
Gotcha.
The thing about it is going into the season, they told him they don't want him to have a
Run.
lot of more, a lot of reckless plays. They want
Yeah.
him to sit in the pocket, spread the ball out. All right, we seen how that worked. Let the man run, improvise. The thing about it is, if you gonna get him, I'd rather have him maximize the 5 years or 6 years of his career to the fullest potential than to try to make him be in the league as a mediocre quarterback for 13 to 14 years.
Agree. I mean, when I see him, I think of and I'm not saying he's like this person, but I think of Cam. I think of Cam is what I think of when I see him. You know, you're not gonna make Cam. What made Cam great was the fact that Cam was able to use his legs to extend plays, and he was able to. He basically carried a team on his shoulders for a 4 or 5 year period. You know what I'm saying? That's what made Cam great. The use of his legs. I'm not sitting here saying Cam was the greatest passer, greatest pocket passer there was. He could throw the ball. And when I see Josh Allen play, that kind of reminds me of that mode of quarterback. Is what I'm saying. So you can't make him a pocket passer. What makes him great is all the other
His
things.
ability to improvise.
I know, but I
I
look
agree,
at it.
Nick.
I look at it from the team's perspective as well too, because the team wants to protect an investment. You know, they want him as long as he possibly can. Because as you can see, it's hard.
But my question is, hold on, I got a question. Would you rather have him long term and be a mediocre franchise or a franchise that
Hmm.
can't get there, or have him lead you to at least one Super Bowl to get you one Super Bowl in your franchise history? Like y'all finna build a new stadium,
Mm-hmm.
y'all finna make, what I'm saying, make a lot of changes in the front office.
Mm-hmm.
So why not let that man lead you to something that we never had in our franchise?
No, I agree. I understand exactly what you're saying. I understand exactly where you're coming from. But when you look at what these NFL franchises want, these NFL franchises are looking at the long term when it comes to their bottom line revenue. So if they can keep Josh Allen for as long as they possibly can, if they can keep him for as long as they possibly can, and keep him in there to keep people coming into the seats and keep the stadium filled, because it's just like Marcus said, just like he said, they are getting ready to build a new stadium. And you, in some kind of way, you gotta have that paid for. That's gonna have to be continued to be paid for. You want to be able to keep superstar free agents coming into the system, because you want your team to continually be a contender in the AFC with the Bengals, with the Chiefs. Now you have the Dolphins coming up as well. And now you have Jacksonville and things of that nature and stuff like that. So you want to, but I don't. That's a tough question, man, because yeah, you can get 5-6 good years out of a player, but after that quarterback is gone, is the next one going to be the one that continually carry that franchise? I mean,
At this point for Buffalo, I don't really care about the next one. I need this one to get me a ring. Like as a Buffalo fan, I've been thirsting for a ring since since the Jim Kelly in the '90s taking us to 4 consecutive Super Bowls. I didn't
huh,
even get to live through most of that.
I agree. I hear what
So
you're saying. I hear what you're saying, man.
so us returning to a team that's actually been competitive these last couple years. It's just like why why put Josh Allen in a box to make him even feel like he can't be the superstar talent that we know him to be.
Well, because I think you saw that with Cam. I mean, Cam was drafted in 11, and by 18, he was. I mean, he wasn't himself again. I mean, he
At least
wasn't
he
the.
got to a Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah, he got the one Super Bowl. One Super Bowl. That I mean, and understand. I completely understand that one Super Bowl can mean more to a franchise than one franchise going to 5 or 6. And I may be wrong on that. You got to ask that city and that city's fans. But you still want to protect the investment. I mean, quarterbacks. You don't have really great quarterbacks that come around like that. You don't have like generational type quarterbacks or quarterbacks that can carry a franchise the way that a Josh Allen can, or the way that a Patrick Mahomes or a Joe Burrow can. So I understand where you're coming from as the fan perspective, trying to get as much as you can out of that player. I mean, trying to get as much as you can out of that player for that short period of time, but also looking at it from the franchise's perspective is like, I want this guy because I don't know if I'm gonna hit again on the next guy.
Yeah, most definitely.
You see what I'm saying? And it is what it is. And speaking of quarterbacks, man, great transition into this, man. Josh Dobbs in the Vikings, man. I know last week I said I think I said last week that I didn't think that was sustained, man. But Josh Dobbs got them guys rolling in Minnesota, man. What you thinking about Josh Dobbs and the Vikings, bro? They beat the Saints this past weekend.
It look good, man. The Saints just haven't been a consistent team, man, and it's just I feel like that's more of a sad story with Derek Carr and James
Yes.
Winston
Yes.
and them boys out there than the Vikings. Because Joshua Dobbs, to me, man, he looking like a Ryan Fitzpatrick 2.0, man. Like he's that guy who would come in when you're good 3 to 4 good games and hold your franchise up for
So
a
you
quick
think
little minute.
so do you think this sustains? Do you think what Josh Dobbs is doing sustains? Or do you think this is just a 4 or 5 game type thing?
I would think if it sustains, that man deserves at least an opportunity.
He deserves. You're right. And he on expiring contract too.
And we haven't taken into account that Justin Jefferson is not in the lineup.
Ooh, you right too, man. What if Justin Jefferson was out there, bro?
So it's just with that coming to fold, like we gonna actually see him build chemistry with the team.
Yeah.
They said he didn't even know how to get to the locker room. So we gonna get to see.
Did you hear the story that he said about in Arizona? Basically, he was told that he wasn't gonna get traded the day before he got traded.
Yeah,
I heard that story. I was like, bro, that's kind of messed up. It's kind of messed up.
Hey, one thing that I do want to highlight, man, we do have a rookie top 10 quarterback this year.
Man, let's not get into this. Let's not get into this, sir. Now, in my defense, when I did say that, I did put CJ Stroud in that conversation.
Number 2. You did.
I did say that. But I gave the nod to Bryce Young. I did say that. Now, I ain't gonna lie, dog. CJ Stroud balling. CJ Stroud balling, bro.
He in the MVP race.
He might be. CJ Stroud might be in the MVP race, man. You know what? CJ Stroud might be top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Man, he looking like it.
He looking like, bro. CJ Stroud might be like top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. And you know what? I should have known, man. I should have known, but I didn't think it all the way through.
Carolina front office right now.
But Carolina like a mess right now, bro. They need
like Carolina front office right now.
They
should have known.
No, it ain't even that. And it's not the fact that Bryce Young is a bad player. Bryce Young is still great, still good, man. It's just the fact that he needs an offensive line, for one. He needs that too. He needs a true number 1 receiver. The defense is not terrible, but the defense can keep him in games for like 2 quarters. After that, it's just whatever it is because the offense can't sustain drives. But the biggest problem is he needs an offensive line. The offensive line of Carolina is not great. They are horrible. It is not good. Not good at all, man.
Kyler Murray won his little first game back.
Yeah, I saw that. How you feel about Kyler? How you feel about Kyler Murray? Is Kyler okay? Let me ask you this question: would you put Kyler Murray in the top 10 right now in the NFL?
Talent wise, he could be a top 10 talent, but he got to get focused.
Yeah, I feel that same way too.
Obviously, Call of Duty is taking a lot of his focus. He got to get focused. But I want to ask you before we leave.
Yeah, before we move to the next, before we leave this segment, go ahead.
Yeah. Question:
Mm-hmm.
do you think if does Detroit's success sustain in the postseason?
Yes.
What do you see?
And you're asking me that question because earlier in the season, in one of our earlier shows, we had the question of who is our dark horse Super Bowl contenders, and I picked Detroit. Detroit.
Yeah.
I think Detroit is ready. Detroit, but see, the funny part about it is though, Detroit is number one. They're the number one they're the first seed in the NFC North right now. I think the Vikings are a game or two behind them, if I'm not mistaken. Man, Detroit looks serious, man. Detroit is. I'm gonna put it like this: Detroit, they may not make it to the NFC Championship game because I still think the Eagles, the way the 49ers look now, getting a lot of their guys back. They're fully healthy again. Well, I'm not gonna say fully healthy, but they're better than what they were these past couple of weeks when they hit that slid. But the Eagles, the 49ers, and I'm gonna still put the Cowboys in there. I think those three teams are probably the top teams in the NFC. But what other team in the NFC could you put above Detroit right now? I mean, let's think about it. The NFC South is
no team above them, but I got Seattle.
Okay. We'll put Seattle. We can put Seattle on that level, but the NFC South is a mess. I don't know who's gonna win the NFC South right now. It does not look good. The Falcons look bad. Tampa Bay steam kind of wore off. The Saints is in a quandary, and don't even get me started on the Panthers. I mean, who else? I mean, you got the Seahawks. I give you the Seahawks. Seahawks look good. But what other team in the NFC, besides those top three teams that I named, could you put above Detroit? I think Detroit got a chance, man. And especially if they get seeded 1 in the North, and they can get a first, or not a first round bye, but they can get home field advantage.
And let me say this before we move on.
I think
all you Cowboy fans who are hyped about what's going on now.
They just beat the Giants.
Nobody's never worried. Nobody's ever worried about y'all regular season. We want to see what you do
in the postseason. Thank you. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the Water Cooler Talk, man. That was the end of the first quarter, man. Marcus, man, how you feeling, boss? I know you're a little under the weather, but how you feeling?
I feel better getting that off my chest, man, about this Buffalo situation.
Hey, man, I hope it get better because y'all sitting on the outside looking in at the playoff picture right now. That's all I'm saying.
We can do it win our division at this point.
We'll see, bro. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, man, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and move it along, man, because you know what comes after one dose. It's time for the second quarter.
Now entering the second quarter.
Oh, man, we're in the second quarter right now, ladies and gentlemen, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the Water Cooler Talk podcast. Whether you're listening to us on your favorite podcast player or you're watching us on YouTube right now, we salute you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, man, college football has had some major changes in the past couple of days. And I think the biggest one, and I think a lot of people saw this coming. I actually, and it kind of hurts me because I actually had this team as my 5th team out of the playoff this year. And I don't know, man. And we ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, we're talking about Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher was fired this past Sunday. He was fired. Were relieved of his duties as the head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies, and Elijah Robinson is now the interim head coach for the Aggies. So the question that we want to pose today dealing with this is, should he have been at least granted the opportunity to finish the season? I mean, they are bowl eligible. They did beat Mississippi State 51-10 this past weekend, if I'm not mistaken, to win their sixth game and become bowl eligible. I don't know. This is weird to me, Marcus. What do you think about this whole situation?
Man, I feel like Texas A&M is a little spoiled, man. Texas A&M don't understand that it takes a lot to win in the SEC. Like Kevin Sumlin came in and set the bar high, and now with Jimbo, they feel like they supposed to win immediately just because Jimbo was a quarterback coach who won at Florida State. He won at Florida State, and they carried him into a situation. But as far as our question goes, if you pay a coach that much money
To
he
leave?
shouldn't be fired at all. You fire all the coordinators. You keep going
Before
until
you
you
get to the
find
head,
a
man.
situation to make it work. We got to keep cleaning house.
Some.
Everybody say but Jimbo.
I don't know, man. I look at this like this, man. I have mixed feelings about this because I think Jimbo rode the coattails of Jameis Winston to a national championship at Florida State.
Yes, thank you.
I don't think Jimbo is that great of a coach, to be completely honest with you. I think he was put up on a pedestal because of that national championship win. Technically, and you don't know what we're talking about. That was 2013 national championship game. 2014 national championship game. 2013 season. It happened in 2014. National championship game. That Florida State beat Auburn on like the last second touchdown. And if you remember that game, there was a pass. It was a pass interference call in the end zone. But before that, there was a missed tackle that went like 60-some yards down into the red zone. But neither here nor there. Well, it is here nor there because Auburn would have had another national championship. But I will say this. I think he should have at least been able to finish the season. I mean, they bowl eligible, 6 games, and then you have the opportunity. They more than likely they're gonna win this weekend. It's a cupcake game they play. I can't remember the team, but then they have LSU last game of the season. I think it's at home. I think they play LSU at home, if I'm not mistaken. And I might be wrong. They may play LSU in Baton Rouge, but as a matter of fact, I think they do play LSU in Baton Rouge. But you have the opportunity to at least end the season 7-5 with a win and a loss to LSU. And if you could pull out a win against LSU. You 8-4 season, and you go to a bowl game and you win 9 games. That's a successful season. I credit this. Now, listen to me when I say this. I credit these firings like this to Nick Saban. This is the Nick Saban effect. Nick Saban has spoiled so many other college schools into thinking that we have to be Alabama. Alabama was winning and beating everybody. Always in the national championship game and everything.
The thing about it is, Nick, if you see how quick everything is these days,
You got a point.
Even with players joining colleges. Right now, the reason why you would rather go to get a transfer instead of because you have to win right now.
Yeah.
And schools are not dealing with coaches or players that they can't win right now.
True.
If you can't if you can't turn around the program immediately, you're gone.
Yeah, and the messed up part about it is, man, a lot of these schools are investing so much money into these head coaches. Like, for example, this buyout, $76 million buyout.
He just tripled. The next one to him was Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, it was like $21 million. I think Gus was the highest one up until Sunday.
Jimbo.
Yeah. And like $76 million buyout, $20 million due in 30 days.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. All right, let's talk about it.
So
$19.2 million
in 20 days, within 30 days, excuse me. And then
Listen,
each year
It's history. And then 7.2 million
per year,
annually
until the contract is paid out.
through 2031.
Good God.
My
Good God.
bro, my. Hey, fire me. I ain't gotta work again.
I saw a
I
post.
will be at home.
I saw a post. Somebody said, and I think this post. I think the post said, my next job is a fired head coach of a college football team.
Oh yeah,
God,
bro,
man,
you ain't gotta never work again.
you don't. You really don't.
Jimbo don't even have to touch a clipboard.
You
and
don't.
his family is well off.
Jimbo gonna take probably a year. You saw what happened to Ed Ogeron when Ed Ogeron when he got fired from LSU. You ever hear the story of Ed Ogeron tell the story of how he got fired? He walked in and they was like, "Yeah, bud, we don't think it's gonna work out." And he was like, "Yep, I know." And they was like, "Well, how you want to pay it?" He was like, "Well, just pay me this and I'm gone." And he knew, because it was known from like the beginning of probably like 3 to 4 games left in the season that Ed Ogeron was gone. They knew he was
really
gone.
want him to be the coach in the first
They
place.
didn't. But he won a national championship. Now he won a national championship with a generational talent at quarterback as well, and 2 of the top 5 wide receivers in the NFL on that team as well too. But still, you ain't seen only thing you done seen Ed Ogeron do is a commercial, and I just started seeing these commercials come out now. I can't even remember the company that he is repping, but I think Ed Ogeron got he got somewhere like 15, 16 million a buyout, probably a little bit more than that to be honest with you over some time. But I mean, come on, bro, $76 million over the next. Well, you said so 2031. That's another 8 years. Man, y'all ain't gonna hear Jimbo name for the next 2 years, 2 maybe 3 years. He'll probably pop up being analyst
Jimbo
somewhere.
smart. You won't hear his name for the next 2 to 3 years.
He'll probably
we going on vacation, sweetheart.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a clause in that buyout to where if he gets hired at another job, they got to pay him less. So less of the buyout. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in that contract. That's what's gonna happen.
That's how I go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's about to happen. So if I was Jim, you probably ain't gonna hear none from Jimbo for the next 3 years. Then next thing you know, Jimbo gonna pop up on ESPN. He'll pop up on ESPN as a commentator. He'll probably be in the booth talking fast. Well, these guys, we got to do this, guys. We got to do this. Guys, got to. Yeah, in the SEC network. You right. He'll be somewhere like that, somewhere, and he'll probably get another $10-15 million contract over a 3-year period to do that, man. But nah, man, should he have been able to at least finish the season, man? I think so. I think he could have. He could have finished the season, man. I mean, but like you said, man, I put this on Nick Saban because Nick Saban spoiled a lot of schools and made a lot of schools think that we gotta keep up with this dude. We gotta keep up with this dude. Georgia went and got Georgia, and you know what? Georgia fired Mark Richt. The year Mark Richt got fired at Georgia, they won 10 games. He won 10 games the year he got fired. And the only reason why he got fired is because South Carolina was about to hire Kirby Smart as his head coach. And Georgia was like, nah. All right, Mark. We'll see you later, boss. And they went and hired Kirby Smart. It's an arms race in college football, man. And these guys, man, you're just trying to keep up with the next team. You're trying to keep up. And I think the best thing about this 12-team playoff that's going to happen next year is that you're going to have a lot of teams that can lose 2 games and still make the college football playoff. Mm-hmm. Have a lot of teams. You may have a 3-loss team in there as well too somewhere. I don't know if that'll be the first year, but you'll have a lot of definitely have some 1-loss, and you'll have a couple of 2-loss teams in that college football playoff bracket next year as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, man. But I think Jimbo could have at least finished the year. Could have got the Ed Ogeron treatment. If we win and if we win out, great. But you won't be back. We gonna look elsewhere. Yeah, that's how I see it happening. Say it again.
So they got tired of Jimbo, man.
I think a lot of people in College Station got tired of Jimbo. Jimbo was promising stuff and he wasn't doing it. I think the last ditch effort was hiring Bobby Petrino as the offensive coordinator, and that somewhat kind of helped. But I mean, they did lose Connor Wegman in the early part of the season, so it is what it is. Who you think the next guy is? Who you think the next guy is at Texas A&M?
I hear talks of that dude in Colorado, man.
Man, listen, man.
That's why I said I hear talks. That was ESPN saying talks.
It's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. That is not about to happen, especially with Shador having another year left. He can't transfer again unless he graduate.
So,
you know Shador going where he go.
Yes, I don't really know right now. So
I know Dan Lennon came out today and said he's not leaving Oregon. He got unfinished business in Oregon. So he took himself out of the running. But another hot name that I've heard is Dan Campbell. We just talked about him in the last segment. The Detroit Lions head coach. He was the tight end at Texas A&M from like 95 to 98 or 96 to 99, something like that. He was there. So I don't know, man. This is gonna be an interesting coach. Jimbo wasn't the only coach that got fired. Zach Arnett was let go of his duties at Mississippi State. And then the guy at Boise State lost his job. And they are actually in contention of winning the actual conference. That's a setup to get Brian Harsin back as the head coach at Boise State, man. That's what that is.
That's all it is.
That's it. They love Brian Harsin and Boise, but it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. We are here at the mid-break, man. We just got through the first half. You know what comes up next, man. When we get done with the first half, we got to head into halftime.
Yawn out your seats. It's halftime.
Oh, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast again, man. Shout out to our sponsor, man. If you want to feel like a star, go to Hollywood Media.
Hollywood.
Man, go check out our guy DJ, man. Go check him out, man. Man, follow our guy on Facebook at Hollywood Media. That's with 2 A's. And then follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media, man. It's I don't want to say Christmas season. It's the holiday season because we ain't even got the Thanksgiving yet. So I don't even want to say Christmas. But we're in the holiday season right now, ladies and gentlemen, man. If you want to get your photos taken for your family, athletes, you want them highlight tapes done, he does videography as well. Check him out. This information is right there on the screen. And if you're listening to us, man, like we said, follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Holly with an EY. And follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Man, shout out to our boy DJ. Always been a number one sponsor of the Water Cooler Talk podcast and a day one. So shout out to our guy DJ, man. Appreciate you, my boy. Man, Marcus, we in halftime right now, man. Teams in locker room. I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Got a question. Would you rather have seven nickels? The way you look when I said that. The way you look when I said that.
Trying to understand where you going.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to make up a question because I thought about this, but I lost the question in my head while I don't know. It's weird, but it is what it is. This is actually a good place where we can plug in our interview that we have coming up this week.
Oh yeah, you got to tell them who it is.
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we have this week. This is actually coming out Friday. So be on the lookout for that, man. We're going to be interviewing Auburn quarterback Jackson Barkley, ladies and gentlemen. He's a walk-on at Auburn right now, man. We're excited for this interview. So we hope that y'all tune in on Friday. It will be out Friday. And we're going to be interviewing Jackson, man. Jackson is a walk-on right now, walk-on quarterback for the Auburn Tigers. And this is big for us, man. This is really, really big for us, man. We excited for it, man. We got an actual player that's on the team that travels and does all this stuff, practice with the team. So, yeah, man, we're gonna sit down. We're gonna have we're gonna sit down about 20 to 30 minutes. We're gonna sit down and have a conversation with him, see what he thinks, pick his brain a little bit, see what he's talking about, man. And we're gonna talk. We're just gonna talk some Auburn football and see what he likes and see where he wants to go with his career and where he wants to what he plans on doing. So, man, it's gonna be a great episode for us, and man, hopefully we can end up getting some other guys on the show as well too, down the road. So that's great, man. Marcus, man, what you got, man? You got anything you want to say to the people while they still in halftime? Because the teams ain't ready to come back out yet. Anything?
Man, the Clippers need to turn it around. James Harden was a disaster.
Well, they 0-4 right now, right? I think they 0-4 since he got there.
Disaster.
I don't think it's gonna work. Do you think it's gonna work?
Disaster.
Bro, you got James Harden needs the ball. Well, I don't know. Does James Harden needs Russell Westbrook needs the ball? And then
I need to learn how to play as a team. Like the stuff he doing is just bogus.
And you got two primary scorers in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Whew, that's not a lot of ball going around for those guys on that team, man. So I don't know. I'm confused, man. I don't know, man. It's 4 games. I mean, maybe they need a couple more games to get into the groove and see what happens. But we'll see what happens. I think it was just reported that Steph Curry is going to miss a couple of games with a knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he carrying too much of the load, man.
I hope this is not. I mean, the Warriors already.
I don't think it's
slid.
crazy. I just think you would rather have him for later in the season than to have him playing on an injured knee right now.
No, I agree. I hear what you're saying. I hear exactly what you're saying. It's just they was already in a little bit of a slid right now, but without Steph out there, man, if Clay can't turn it up like he normally can, bro, I don't know where we gonna go with that, man.
Chris Paul got to step up.
Yeah, see, okay, yeah, right. This is Chris Paul time right here. Chris Paul need to be the floor general. Let's go, Chris Paul. Let's go, Chris Paul. Do you, boy? Do you, Chris Paul? Let's go.
People don't really talk about how slow Milwaukee been since acquiring Dame. Like, they ain't looked as good as people thought they would look.
It ain't been consistent because I don't even think Dame has been consistently playing for real, to be honest with you.
Playing is just, man, like, the game, you see that it's something about them that it's not gelling just right now. Like, maybe they got to start getting Dame and Giannis in more pick and roll situation.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Or something like that, but something is off.
To be honest with you, for that to work, both of them gonna have to be themselves. I mean, Dame gonna have to play like Dame do, and Giannis gonna have to play like Giannis do.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you can't sit there and defer to the next guy just because both of y'all superstars. I mean, play your game, man. Play your game. That's what you got to do. To help the team, you got to play your game. But, it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, man, the teams are coming back out. The stadium noise is getting ready. Man, we about to go ahead. You know what comes next, man. We are about to head to the third quarter.
We've now entered the third quarter.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, man, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear, man. We are in the third quarter right now, man. Let's just go ahead and get to it, man. Jim Harbaugh has been a hot topic in the Big Ten and in college football as well for literally the whole season. If it isn't one thing, it's another. Apparently, at the beginning of the season, he bought hamburger gate. He suspended himself for a game for a hamburger, for buying a player a hamburger. Now, for the past couple of weeks, think for about the last 3 weeks, they've been talking about this sign stealing thing that Michigan has been going on. Apparently, I can't remember the guy's name, but he dressed up as a Central Michigan coach or staffer and stood on the sideline to learn the signs of the other team or something. I don't know, but
I want to get it. I want to get it correct.
Go ahead, please tell me.
This man been cheating. He been cheating since last year.
See, this is where we defer.
He got in trouble.
This is where we defer, ladies and gentlemen,
because of the COVID year, the way he was doing his recruiting process. Like they were told not to do certain things, and he remained doing them. This year, it was the sign scandal, and then so I was watching the mouth of the SEC, which is Paul Feinbaum.
Mm-hmm.
He highlighted something for me, and
What'd he say?
I didn't think about it until Paul Feinbaum said it.
What'd he say? What Paul say? Call
Paul
Paul.
had said Paul said something, and I was just like, "Dang, Paul, you right." Paul was like, "It's very coincidental how Jim Harbaugh they was just calling for Jim Harbaugh because he was on the hot seat, and all of a sudden, with these scandals, he didn't end up turning it around, and now Michigan ain't losing, and Michigan looking like a unbeaten team in a dynasty right now."
Yeah, because Michigan's good. Michigan might be the best team in college football right now.
Is it the talent or is it the scandals? That's what Paul Feinbaum was saying. Is it the
Okay,
talent or
let's
is
let's 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 delve
because
into
he
this.
did have a
Let's
point.
delve into this.
Both of the situations, which was him recruiting in 2020, which he got a lot of these good recruits, and then with this situation where he's stealing sign signals, and his team quote unquote knew nothing of it.
Mm. I'm going to quote the great Pat Dye. Pat Dye said, in America, any college football team is not squeaky clean.
No,
Now,
I agree with that.
Now, the question on the screen says, is Jim Harbaugh's punishment too severe? That's the question. My
I don't think
answer
so.
to that question is yes, it is. How are we going to punish one man for something that you can't even link him to? Where is the evidence of it being linked directly to Jim Harbaugh?
Well, I would say it's a scandal, so that means there's multiple people in it.
Innocent.
And I
Well,
feel
in
like
America, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
proven guilty.
But, you
Most
know,
definitely.
sometimes that's different for different people and all type of things like that. Anyway, but
I feel like the punishment should be the same for every person who they catch.
okay. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. Do you think Nick Saban at the University of Alabama in those early years of winning did everything?
All I would say is he owned multiple billion-dollar industries in truck sales. If you think
He owned a
paying
couple
for
of car dealerships. He owned like a Ferrari
yeah,
dealership, a couple of
I
Mercedes
know
dealerships. Yeah.
his portfolio is beautiful. If you think he wasn't paying for players early on,
Allegedly.
all right, whatever you want to call it, I don't want nobody to be like, he said, just wake up.
Do you think,
That's all
let
I'm
me
gonna
ask you this
say.
question. Do you think Miami back in the early 2000s, do you think that program was squeaky clean? That Miami probably had one of the greatest teams in college
think
football
Miami
history.
was more so Uncle Luke as a booster compared to being in-house coaching as in Nick Saban with Alabama.
You must then watch the U part with Dana Shalala.
I'm saying I agree with what you're saying, but I'm saying like I would say it's more so head coaching in one case and more so of a booster situation in the
Okay,
other one.
you brought it up. Why do you think Pete Carroll ran to the NFL so fast after
We
he
all
left
know why
USC?
he did that.
So my point
He
exactly.
had to get up out of Dodge.
My point
He had to
exactly.
get up out of Dodge. Them sanctions was coming.
What college football program is squeaky clean? Literally. What we're singling out one man for something that has been
Nick,
for
if you
something that
get
has
caught,
been
you get
done
caught.
for years by all other teams.
Listen, Nick. All right. I'm gonna put it in the perspective of this.
Okay, I'm
If
listening.
me and you been taking tests all year.
Got you.
We've been cheating on tests.
Okay.
All right. Me and you both been cheating.
Okay, I'm here. I'm listening.
I I get caught. You still didn't get caught. That don't mean you ain't cheating. That means I just got caught cheating and I deserve to be punished. I mean, I'm gonna get punished for it regardless because I got caught.
Here's the thing. This is what I think is going on. I think a lot of people in college football want Jim Harbaugh back in the NFL. I think the NFL wants Jim Harbaugh back in the NFL. That's me personally. So, I play a little conspiracy theory sometime. I have a feeling that somebody outside of college football.
I feel like if things sitting a call and giving you an unfair advantage.
Is it though? But is it though?
Yeah. If any situation where you have something that the opposite team doesn't have access to is a competitive advantage.
Okay, that's fine. That's actually understandable. But the fact of the matter is that this has been done for years by plenty of schools. And Michigan has documentation that other schools are doing this.
Have done it. Yeah. They gotta leak it though. Like if I'm going down, I'm telling on everybody.
Look, I'm put like this.
I'm snitching.
I go back to conspiracy theories. I think this has a lot to do with the NFL wanting Jim Harbaugh back. And of course, this has a lot to do with money as well, because from the way it looks, Michigan might be the only team in the college football playoff out of the Big Ten. That's the way it looks right now. Because I have them beating Ohio State by 10 points, at least.
All I would say is don't count your money, because if Harbaugh ain't coaching that, it might be a little different.
You heard what you heard the interim coach said at the end of the game, man. Man, coach, man, we did it for you, man. I love you, dog.
Like, why is he crying?
I was wondering the same thing too. I was like, bro,
huh?
Somebody put a
Jim Harbaugh just died.
Somebody put up a meme.
Okay?
Somebody put up a meme. I'm pretty sure y'all seen this meme. Somebody put the meme up of Steven off of Django when Calvin got shot when and he was holding on to him. Calvin, oh Lord. Somebody put that meme on, said that's what he sound like and he looked like. I was like, bro, y'all need to stop, bro. But nah, man, I'm putting it like this. I think the punishment is too severe because you're punishing one man instead of punishing the entire program. If you really want to make a statement, punish the entire Michigan football program. Vacate wins.
Would you rather them punish the whole program right now and tell them that they
if it was
participate in the college football playoff?
If it was really because of sign stealing, punish the entire Michigan football program, because Jim Harbaugh didn't go and figure out what them signs meant. It has staffers that went and did it. Staffers had to come back and talk to offensive coordinators or analysts or defense coordinators to figure out what was going on.
I don't disagree with that, Nick.
So why is Jim Harbaugh getting the brunt of the punishment?
Me as Jim Harbaugh and as Michigan and Michigan alum, I'm glad that he would take the bullet for the team, because, like you said, if they were to go that route, that right there would ruin this season for them.
I mean, they did it. If it was really so let's look at this. If it was really about Michigan, if it was really about Michigan football and saying you can't participate in the college football playoff, they would punish the team. They would punish the entire team, and not just one coach, not just the head coach. They did it they went back and vacated a whole 2004, 2005 national championship.
True.
With Reggie Bush, because he took some money from a family friend that's considered a donor. That's punishing the whole team, and they took his Heisman Trophy away. But you're gonna punish one man, and you can't link it directly. Come on, man.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. All I'm saying is, to me, that's a slap on the wrist compared to what.
No, you're right. It is a slap on the wrist. That is literally like, all right, bro, we're just gonna put you on. You just get. We gonna charge you with a lesser charge, bro.
And let's not forget, it's just the regular season, so if they make it to the playoffs, he will be back.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's why I'm saying it's not about the sign stealing. This is about trying to hem up Michigan on that last game of the season. Now, I bet you money right here that last game of the season against Ohio State is going to be some buffoonery, some foolishness that happened. And I wouldn't be surprised, even though I think Michigan should win. Even though I think Michigan should win that game by at least 10 touchdowns. I mean, not 10, but by 10 points. Something gonna happen in that game to where that game gonna be closer than what it should be. Watch.
Maserati gonna win it with a game-winning touchdown.
Mark my words right now. Something gonna happen in that game to where it's gonna be closer than what it should be. But we're just a small time podcast here at the Water Cooler Talk podcast. It just gives our perspective on sports and what we see. But it is what it is, man. Oh, Marcus, man. Guess what, man? Guess what? We getting ready to head to the fourth quarter. Y'all know what time it is because we ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
We have now arrived at the fourth quarter.
Man, we in the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear. If you listen to us on your favorite podcast player, we salute you. Like and rate the podcast. Share it with your favorite with all your friends. And if you're watching us on YouTube, man, we thank y'all so much. Like, subscribe, share the video, man. It helps us grow the channel and helps us grow the community, man. We're in the fourth quarter. Question to Marcus and myself. We were a head coach right now in college football. Which college football team do you not want to play right now? Marcus, who you got?
I got two teams.
Okay.
Two teams that I don't want to see right now.
Okay.
One would be the Oregon Ducks.
Ooh.
And two would be the Alabama Crimson.
Please tell me why. Why? I can understand Oregon, but Alabama?
Oregon is on fire, as we can see.
Yeah, I think Oregon is the best team in the Pac-12.
Yeah, they just beat Caleb. I think, honestly, I give them the edge over Alabama as being the best one-loss team. But the reason why I say Alabama right now is because Milroe done found an identity. The defense looked like it done came together. And I would hate to see a Nick Saban team if they rolling coming out of the Iron Bowl into the SEC championship. If you will be able to tell what type of team Alabama gonna be after they play Auburn. And that's gonna be if it looks anything like it's been looking in the past weeks, that's gonna be scary. But me myself, I would say Oregon more so than Alabama because Oregon is playing all three phases: special teams, defense, and offense. And they hunting.
Okay. Yeah, I can't doubt you on the Oregon tip. I think Oregon is the best team in the Pac-12. I think when they play Washington again in the Pac-12 championship game, Oregon gonna get their lick back, and Oregon's gonna be a one-loss team in the Final Four. Alabama. I think they're calling plays to the strength of Jalen Milroe. Deep ball, let him run the ball. Deep ball, quarterback runs, stuff like that. Okay. Defense is looking solid. Okay, that's fine. I see where you're coming from with that. I'm not gonna hate on. But the one team that if I was an opposing head coach that I would not want to play right now, the Auburn Tigers. Ha! Man. Boy, these last couple of weeks of watching Auburn run the offense that actually looks, boy. Hugh Freeze is calling plays again. Hugh Freeze has made up his mind that, you know what we were doing before, it didn't work. I need to call plays. I need to be the one to say this is what's gonna happen. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Payne Thorne looked good, ladies and gentlemen. Payne Thorne looked good. Payne Thorne, you look great, sir. If you're listening to this, sir, I'm not gonna say the word slander, but I have given you a hard time this season. I have.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say you didn't deserve it because you did. But, brother, these past 3 weeks, bro, you have shown me something that I didn't even know you had. Even looking back at some of that Michigan State tape, I was like, who is this guy? Who is this Payne Thorne? Boy, Payne Thorne running the ball, ran over a guy this week in the end zone at Arkansas. I was like, who is this guy? What has gotten into Payne Thorne? Man, Jarquez Hunter is now running the ball. He's like 200 and some yards away from having a 1,000-yard season.
I'm proud of him.
Oh, man, I'm so happy. Rivaldo Fairweather has caught two touchdown passes this past week. They got him in the game. Jay Fair, Caleb Burden made some catches. Now, I will say, we got to find a guy on the outside. I will say that. Offensive line looks amazing. Connor Lew, we want you on the show as well, too, man. Shout out to Connor Lew. At center, Dylan Wade. Man.
I'm encouraged, but I'm also not taking into. I'm not going to act like we didn't just beat. We beat a Mississippi State team.
We did.
4-4, but
we did.
We also beat a 3-7 team and a 2-8 team.
Now, the reason why I'm excited about this is because that same Arkansas team went into Alabama.
Yeah, and played them close. They played them real close.
Blown out in the first half.
Yeah, they played them close.
Came back within 3 points of winning. And we went to Arkansas 48-10. Alabama won that game 24-21. Now, granted, Milroe wasn't the Milroe that we saw this past week.
We got to take into account of growth.
I will give you that. They are calling. They have found. When I say this, Alabama has found something in the niche of what's best to help Milroe win games. They have done that. I am not denying that at all. They have done that perfectly.
Yep.
And I hope they keep doing that. They may win. They may win the SEC West, but when they come to Jordan-Hare Stadium, it's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a close game.
I think Georgia with Brock Bowers coming back and Carson Beck looking like he's Stelson Bennett 2.0. It might be. It's gonna be a hard hour with Georgia again. Georgia is gonna be a dogfight. That's gonna be a dogfight.
Who you got in that game? Because it's already set. Alabama's going out of the West, Georgia going out of the East.
I need to see Alabama play Auburn.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Auburn's defense is going to give Alabama's offense fits.
If that's true, Nick, I got Georgia.
Yeah, but Auburn's defense. But the thing about Auburn's defense is, in my eyes, Auburn's defense has 19 straight games with a takeaway.
I agree. Matter of fact, I've seen people on Auburn Addicts, shout out Auburn Addicts, that disagree with how we feel about the defense. But I agree. I feel like our defense is showcased. But what I'm saying is, if they struggle with us, or they lose, or even in a position to lose, they're not ready. They're not the team who.
But Auburn. Okay, let's look at this. So let's go back. Auburn played Georgia close in the beginning of the season, and the offense, the way it has been the past 3-4 weeks, was nowhere near. Was nowhere near what it is now in the defense, and that was a 27-20 game.
But we also have to take into account that was Carson Beck's first game at away in the SEC in a hostile environment.
Okay, all right, I give you that.
He caught his groove in the second half. But I'm not disagreeing with you, Nick. All I'm saying is, for me to see a national championship or SEC championship come in Alabama future, they have to be the dominant team that I have seen in the past. And if I don't see that capability out of them in the Iron Bowl, which it's gonna be the Iron Bowl, so we're gonna play them tough regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But if they even if I smell blood on Bama, that means they not ready. Georgia finna house them.
Okay, let me ask you this question. What was more surprising? Missouri playing. Nah, okay, this has something. This is not on the topic. I say Auburn. You went Oregon and Bama. Okay, that's good. What was more surprising? Missouri playing Georgia close in Athens, or Missouri blowing out Tennessee at home?
Missouri has been a team who's been messing up parlay boards all year. Missouri has been playing up to every spread that you put them in. So
When you got a quarterback, it changes things. When you got a good quarterback, it changes things.
So I would say that Missouri in any game will be impressive.
But okay. So I think we show Missouri a lot of like slack. Missouri went to the SEC championship game the first 2 years they got to the SEC, 2013 and 2014. They went to the SEC championship game. They represented the East. They did.
Yeah.
I would probably have to say Missouri playing Georgia close in Athens was probably more surprising to me. Because you just don't see many teams go into Athens and basically play them down to the fourth quarter. Ole Miss went in and got blown out. And I thought that was going to be I thought it was going to be a way closer game than what it was.
We're talking about teams that really at a time this year, you kind of want to see what their identity was. Now we seeing them like you always said, like you said on Arbor Addict. Right now is if you haven't made a situation or made a move right now, you're gonna be what you're gonna be.
Yeah. I always say that. Yeah, after the first 4 to 5 weeks of a season, that if that's how that team is, that's who that team is gonna be. I've always said that.
So now we see that those two quarterbacks in Carson Beck and Miro have stepped into the roles of being what they need to be for their team. So it's just at this point, are those defenses gonna come? Are those defenses gonna come to play? Are the X factors in Barack Bowers and to me Burton as a receiver for Alabama is a big X factor. Those X factors come to play. Who knows?
I hear you on that. It's exciting. Last 2 weeks of the regular season for college football, then we get into the bowl championship weekends, and then it's time for bowl season, and then time for us to figure out who these 4 teams in the playoffs are gonna be, man. So it's gonna be we got a lot of football coming left in college football, man. It's gonna be exciting, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The game is over. We've ended the game. Marcus, man, how you feeling about that, man? How you feel about that game? How you think that game went?
Man, I feel good, bro. We made it. Had a lot of bumps in the road, but we got through it.
We made it through. Marcus is under the weather, ladies and gentlemen, but we made it through. We made it. Yes, we did. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see y'all on the other side. Let's go ahead and head to the post game.
It's time to shut down in the post game.
Woo! We're in the post game, ladies and gentlemen, man. You know what happens in the post game. It's time for us to go ahead and pick some games for this week. Let's go ahead and give an update, ladies and gentlemen, man. Marcus, you're ahead of me 2 games, man. Woo! Marcus is 44-30. I'm 42-32. And Marcus is ahead 2 games right now. As it sits for the guys in the standings for the gift card at the end of the season. Week 9 results, the Vikings won. They beat the Saints. And the Browns beat the Ravens. Speaking of which, it was 5 walk-off field goals this past weekend, which was pretty interesting. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. The Browns were one of them. So as the standings sit right now, we have 1 person in the lead. No more ties at the top right now. We have 1 in the lead. Kyle is sitting at 13-5. DJ is sitting at 11-7. All of these are after week 9. Travell is sitting at 10-8. Brian is sitting at 10-8. And the leader of the pack, Uncle Willie, is sitting at 14-4. 1 game lead in the league right now.
Let's go, Uncle Willie.
So this is gonna be exciting. We coming down to the stretch, and this week, man, we got some good games. Well, I don't know if you want to call them good. I think the NFL games are gonna be pretty good, but college is the week before you got a lot of rivalry games before rivalry weekend. So this is gonna be interesting, man. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. First game we gonna pick Nebraska at Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is a 4.5 favorite. Marcus, who you got?
Give me Wisconsin, boss.
We going with the Wisconsin Badgers, and I am going to go with the Wisconsin Badgers as well. I think Wisconsin comes out and wins that game. I think they run the ball, and I think they dominate. All right, man. Next game. This might be a sneaky good game. I think the line says it all. I don't think this line is going to jump up at all. So basically, they're saying it's a toss up. Utah at Arizona. Who you got?
Give me Utah, boss.
You got the Utah Utes taking the win over the Arizona. I don't know. What is Arizona? I don't know. What is their mascot?
Wildcats.
You right. My bad. Sorry about that, Arizona, but couldn't remember. Arizona just beat Colorado this past weekend, right?
Barely.
Yeah, it was a close game. It was a close game. Yeah, I'm gonna rock with Utah in this game as well. I think Utah ends up taking this one and winning the game. Next game, Washington at Oregon State, and Oregon State is favored by 2.5. Wow. Whew. Oregon State is actually a pretty good team.
Defense is crazy.
Yeah, I was looking at the stats and I'm like, I might.
Yeah, that defense. Oregon State got a top 50 defense, man.
I may have to, and I thought about it, but I'm gonna tell you who I pick in a minute. But who you got?
Give me Washington.
Ooh, you gonna stick with Michael Penix Jr. Okay, then. I'm actually gonna rock with Oregon State in this game, man. Oregon State has convinced me to take them to win this game at home. I am going to take Oregon State to win the game, man. And I think they covered it. I think they win by field goal. I think Oregon State is gonna be a hostile environment. And we'll see what happens. Here we go, man. Heading to the SEC, man. We got Kentucky at South Carolina. Marcus.
Give me South Carolina.
Oh, he taking the Gamecocks. Guess what? I'm taking the Gamecocks as well because this is one of them games. This is one of them games that's prime for South Carolina to come out and dominate.
Yep. I was like, yep.
I think South Carolina comes out and dominates this game, and I have a feeling this may be like a 14-point win for South Carolina, like a 2-touchdown win. So I'm gonna rock with South Carolina in this game as well too. Next game, last college game we picking. North Carolina at Clemson, and Clemson is a 6.5 point favorite. Clemson has been on some kind of resurgence lately. So who you got?
Dabo is upset, so give me Dabo.
Oh, you taking Clemson?
I'm taking Clemson.
You taking Clemson?
Give me Dabo.
I kind of went back and forth on this game. I did, man, because I think North Carolina may be the better team. I think they got the better quarterback in Drake May.
They got a better quarterback.
They do. They have a better quarterback in Drake May. Clemson still got a pretty good defense, though. North Carolina got a pretty good defense as well. So in that case, I'm taking North Carolina to win this game. They got a better quarterback, but the defenses are kind of the same.
I seen how they played Duke last weekend, and it was a close game. And Clemson been playing really inspired.
I'm taking North Carolina, man. Gene Chizik, don't let me down. Gene Chizik in that North Carolina defense do not let me down. Come on. All right, man, let's go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and get into these NFL games, man. Let's go ahead and get it started, man. This is a Thursday night game. Fellas, go ahead and get your picks in. Let us know, man. Thursday night game, man. Bengals at the Ravens. And the Ravens are a 3.5 point favorite. Who you taking?
Give me Bengals.
Yeah, man. I'm going to have to rock with you on that one as well, too. I think Joe Burrow is upset. Just by listening to him in that press conference after the game, man, I think Joe Burrow about to throw for like 400 yards in this game. I'm taking the Bengals as well. And I heard somebody say this is a Super Bowl rematch. or it could be a Super Bowl preview. But you got the Eagles at the Chiefs. This is a Monday night game, and you got the Chiefs as a 3-point favorite. Who you taking?
Give me Kansas City.
Ooh, you taking the Chiefs. You're taking the Chiefs, huh? You taking the Chiefs. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to take the Eagles.
I'm not surprised.
Even though I said last week I think the Eagles lose to the Chiefs this game. I said that last week. But something in my spirit, I may be wrong, but something in my spirit is telling me the Eagles get this one. They got a gauntlet coming up. They got a gauntlet of games coming up before they play the Cowboys again. And I think if the Eagles win this game, they're going to be riding heavy. They're going to be riding pretty. So I'm taking the Eagles, man. And they go to games. Let fellas get your picks in. Let us know. And if you're in the comments, man, tell us who you want. Tell us who you think will win the game in the comments as well, man. We always read the comments. And we love it when y'all in the comments with us, man. So we appreciate
King
y'all.
Of the comments,
King of the comments, Travell. Probably already commenting right now. So we shout out to Travell. King of the comments. Oh, man, Marcus, it's that time. It is that time. You see him changing the glasses, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. It's time for us to give out the award that everybody loves, but the person that gets it, they hate it.
Give it up for the Water Boy Award.
Gatorade. H2O.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Marcus.
Yes, sir.
Who are you giving this week's Water Boy Award to? I already know. I kind of don't agree with it, but who are you giving this week's Water Boy Award to?
I have two people.
Oh, you got two
I have
people.
a repeat offender.
Okay.
And I have one that's just dear to my heart that I just got to get off my chest.
Okay. I'm ready.
The first person, the repeat offender, Mr. Harbaugh. Horrible week for you, sir. I know, you're going to be at home for the rest of the regular season. So, you can come chill with me. I got a lot of cold water for you. And if you ever in your life say that Michigan is America's favorite college football team, if you ever say that again, you, my friend, will have your football card revoked.
Wow.
That right there was
revoked. Okay.
Revoked.
Okay.
There's so many teams that I would have over Michigan as America's favorite college team.
Okay. All right.
But secondly, I don't want to waste time. Josh Allen.
This is about to be personal, y'all. It's about to be personal.
Sir, 94 interceptions in 83 games. I'm tired, Josh. I really went back and forth about making you my water boy because I cared about you so much. But Josh, you gotta hear this. You're horrible right now, bro. We can't keep bad naming up those interceptions. Whatever you gotta do to get your mind back right. If you gotta sacrifice your body, if that's what makes you a great quarterback, you dive over five people again, John. Cause you, my friend, you sitting in the pocket throwing the football is the worst thing that happened since I can remember. It's hurting me, dog, to even make this cry to you. I hope you hear it. But if you don't, we done fired a whole offensive coordinator off of your play alone. So Josh, please, I already got my water. Nick, go ahead and pull him up.
But that came from the bottom of your soul. You wanted Josh Allen to feel that. You wanted him to feel that.
I'm tired, Nick. This has to stop, bro. We came in as Super Bowl contenders the last 2 to 3 years. In the last 2 to 3 years, this man been just dropping back, just throwing the ball willy-nilly to who and their grandma. Like, come on, bro. I need better performances, man. Come on, man. We got another. We got the Jets next week, bro. If you let Zach Wilson beat you again, dog. Listen. If you let Zach Wilson beat you again, dog.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
I'm done.
Hey man, they came from the bottom of Marcus's soul, ladies and gentlemen. He gave it to Jim Harbaugh, and he gave it to his quarterback.
My quarterback deserves it. I'm gonna just show y'all that this water boy award is not biased.
That's his quarterback.
Anybody can get it.
That's his quarterback.
Just like anybody can get them boots at Colorado. Anybody can get it. Yeah, Sanders has been getting that boot.
Oh my God, bruh. That's
boot you up. So anybody can get that water boy award like that boots at Colorado parking services, baby. Anybody can get it.
Oh my God, bro. I'm good. I'm good. I ain't even gonna talk about it. I'm good. Ladies and gentlemen, man. This
park you want to.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. Marcus, man. What you gotta say to the people before we get up out of here, boss man?
Man, shout out home team, man. Shout out Travell, man. Shout out Tay, man. Shout out Kyle, man.
Shout out to Kyle.
Shout out Freddie, man. Shout out to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? 4B, man. Sham God. Shout out those guys.
To Sham God.
Shout out my mama. She an avid listener now, man. Shout out Pops.
Yeah.
Shout out Moms. Auntie Sally, man, and Boochie.
Yeah. Shout out to y'all. Man, again, man. Shout out to the whole Tuskegee, man. Shout out to the 4-6. Shout out to the University of South Alabama. Man, mess with y'all as well. Man, shout out to my family, my mom. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to everybody, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in to the Water Cooler Talk podcast, because if it wasn't for y'all, man.
Hey, hold up, y'all. Hold up.
Amazing, man. We thank y'all so much, man. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for
tuning in. Nick. Hold up, dog. Hold
up. What's going on? What we miss?
Hey, everybody in the comment right now, man. It's Nick's birthday.
Man, stop, man.
Put happy birthday, Nick.
By the time
everybody wish Nick a water cooler birthday. Shout out, baby. Happy birthday, my co-host, baby.
Listen, this comes out Wednesday. So yes, my birthday was yesterday. Tuesday. So yes, today is my birthday. Excited. I'm not really doing anything. 31 years old. So it is what it is. Having a great time. So yeah, man. We'll probably end up doing something this weekend. For my birthdays. I don't know what my wife has planned. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, it's I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the Water Cooler Talk podcast. So for my birthday, what I would like for y'all to do is subscribe and share the Water Cooler Talk podcast or the YouTube channel. Just share it. That'll be the best birthday present ever. So man, we thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. Man, before we get up out of here, y'all know how we do it, man. As always, man, y'all have a good one. Nah, better yet, man, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. One love.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Water Cooler Talk. Make sure to follow us on our socials on Instagram and TikTok at Water Cooler Talk, and on YouTube at The Coolest Pod 23. Also, make sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast player so that you never miss an episode.